السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Welcome students, dear brothers and sisters, to step number 4 in our Tajweed program. We covered step 1 and 2, which were the basic fundamentals of reading. That involved huruf, harakat, tanween, mad, sukoon, shadda. And then we had like 6 sessions on that. Then we moved on to step number 3, which involved extra mad, which is for harakat because of the hamza. And we had 3 long exercises on that. Now there's one thing that we left, which was the 6 harakat mad. The 6 harakat rarely appears in the Qur'an. But when it does, it appears because of the sukoon. After the mad letters alif, ya and waw appears a sukoon. Now if I show you quickly, now in the beginning of the Quran, we have, for example, in Surah Al-Fatiha, we have this example here. We say وَلَضَّالِّينَ. Now here da alif, which is a mad. Okay, now after that there's no hamza, so it's not 4 harakat, it's actually shadda. Now shadda is a sukoon in reality, as you learned in Nuraniya. So this would be 6 harakat, so it would be وَلَضَّالِّينَ. Okay, now also in the beginning of Surah Baqarah you have these letters, these huruf muqatta'at. We also covered these in Nuraniya. They're also going to be stretched into 6 harakat. So we say alif lam mim, and we covered why they are to be stretched in 6 harakat, because they contain a sukoon or a shadda. So that is covered in in Nuraniya lessons. And then throughout the Quran you might see it here and there. For example, if you wish to see that, I can show you one example as we go throughout the Quran. As I said, it appears rarely, but here, for example, this example, لِيُحَاجُّكُمْ. You see the jim shadda, there's ha, that's mad, okay, and the jim shadda is actually a jim sukoon, right? So 6 harakat because of the sukoon. لِيُحَاجُّكُمْ. Okay, so just like this, they don't appear a lot. As I said, you will rarely see them. Maybe you might go through pages after pages after pages after pages until you might see an example. Now I can just remember some of the examples that are very far from each other. This is still Surah Baqarah, but if you go into Surah Ali Imran, for example, you might see some of them here. For example, you see okay, that's why we don't want to just create a separate lesson just for this, because it's just a concept that you need to understand here. يُحَاجُّكُمْ, right? So you have here again similar example of 6 harakat. And so to Ali Imran you have here لِمَا تُحَاجُّونَ. Okay, So here and there you might see examples of this, and whenever you see it, let's stretch it to 6 harakat. Again, when mad letters are followed by a sukoon or shadda, shadda is a sukoon, then you will stretch them to 6 harakat, inshallah ta'ala. Now, having that being said, we now move on to our next exercise, which is going to be on rule number 4. Okay, so we have covered this page. Now we're going to move on to this next page here, and we are covering rule number 4, and that is on step number 4 on qutba jadd. This is a qalqala. This is the rule of qalqala, and these are 5 letters that when they have a sukoon, you need to bounce their sounds. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. And the reason why you bounce their sounds is because these are the letters that get trapped in the mouth if they have sukoon. Qaf, for example, say aq, ta, aq, ba, ab, jim, ad, dal, ad. So you need to bounce the sound. Aqo, ato, ab, aj, ad. So we're going to practice this inshallah now so I'm going to point it out for you as we move on. Let's begin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا ادْخُلُوا. Dal here is from qutba jadd. Remember this phrase, qutba jadd. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. Qutba jadd. Dal is from qutba jadd. So you has a sukoon, so you must bounce its sound. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا ادْخُلُوا. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا nad. So you don't just say قُلْ نَدْخُلُوا. You need to release the sound. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا ادْخُلُوا هَذِهِ الْقَرْيَةَ فَكُلُوا مِنْهَا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمْ رغدا وادخلوا الباب. Wad, again here dal has sukoon, qutba jadd. رغدا وادخلوا الباب سجدا وقولوا حطة نغفر لكم خطاياكم وسنزيد المحسنين. فبدل الذين ظلموا قولا غير الذي قيل لهم فأنزلنا على الذين ظلموا Jim from qutba jadd. Jim has sukoon, bounce it. Don't say rijzan. No, رجزا من السماء رجزا من السماء. Oh, ma'i, this is the mad, 4 harakat because of the hamza, right? So we need to follow that. That's a previous rule. رجزا من السماء, right? Mad because of the hamza, 4 harakat. بما كانوا يفسقون وإذ استسقى موسى لقومه فقلنا اضرب. Okay, here ba is followed by another ba. You see, whenever you have two letters that appear together that are same, right? Usually you will see the first one will be merged into the second one. Right? Now this is a rule we're going to cover later, but a ba will go into this ba because this ba has a haraka and this ba has sukoon, and because the letter that has a haraka is stronger, it will basically pull in the letter with the sukoon. So actually you connect this together. So we say فَقُلْنَا اضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْحَجَرَ فَقُلْنَا اضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْحَجَرَ فانفجرت منه 12 عينا فانفجرت منه 12 عينا قد. Here is go dal from قطب جد, bounce it because of سكون. قد علم كل أناس مشربهم كلوا واشربوا من رزق الله ولا تعثوا في الأرض مفسدين ولا تعثوا في الأرض مفسدين وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نصبر على طعام واحد فادع لنا دال هي قطب جد سكون واحد فادع لنا ربك يخرج لنا جيم from قطب جد السكون bounce it يخرج رج ربك يخرج لنا مما تنبت الأرض من بقلها قاف قطب جد قاف سكون بق من بقلها وقثائها فوق حركاتها بكذا الهمزة من بقلها وقثائها وفومها وعدسها وبصلها قال تب با قطب جد قال أتستبدلون الذي قال أتستبدلون أتستبدلون الذي هو قطب جد هو أدنى بالذي هو خير هو أدنى بالذي هو خير. Okay, this word Hamzatul Wasl, you're going to begin from here. We learned in Nuraniya that if Hamzatul Wasl is in the middle, you skip it. And we have been skipping it throughout wherever it appears in the middle. Like here we said, Billadhi, we skipped it, right? Here we said, Atastabdilun Nalladhi, we skipped it, right? Throughout, Tumbitul Ard, we skipped in the middle. In the beginning, we said if he has a lam after it, we put a fatha, and we covered that already, right? But here we have now, second letter is not lam. So we look at the third letter. And we say if the third letter has dhamma, you put a dhamma. In all of the cases, you put a kasra. Here, you're going to put a kasra. Here, you're going to put a kasra. Ihbitu misran. فَإِنَّ لَكُمْ مَا سَأَلْتُمْ وضربت عليهم الذلة والمسكنة وباءوا 4 harakat because of the hamza after. والمسكنة وباءوا بغضب من الله ذلك بأنهم كانوا يكفرون بآيات الله قاف قطب جد سكون here ويقتلون النبيين بغير الحق ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا. Remember I told you when there's two same letters that appear together, the sukoon one is pulled into the one with the haraka. Here you have waw being pulled into another waw. ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون. So here we took some exercises on qalqala letters and we saw qutba jad and we bounced on them, and we will take inshallah more exercises next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.